Hola clase. So we're just doing our recorded session for Thursday, el 5 de noviembre, ¿correcto? Sí, hoy es el 4, so el 5 de noviembre. Just a quick reminder that for today, for Thursday at 4 o'clock, you were supposed to submit that writing assignment to me. It is in 10.2. It's right here. You want to watch the video and take some notes, and then you want to make your 2 paragraphs. So that's due for today. You also had some mind tap due, and then also that's it. So then for Monday, next class, next week, for the 9th, you guys have the discussion board on La Ropa. Please make sure you do that. And then you do have your exploraciones tres about the verbo ir, and I'll be teaching that today in class. That's in mind tap. That's due at Monday. So clase, I just want to review a little bit what we did last class with la hora. Remember when we're talking about qué hora es, we're trying to say what time is it. And typically in Espanol, we're going to say either son las or es la, depending on what number we're talking about. For 1 o'clock, it's always singular. It makes sense, right? Es la una. And the time is feminine, so we want to say es la, not es el uno. Es la una. And then if we're talking about 2 o'clock through 12 o'clock, it's going to be son las. So son las dos, son las tres, son las cuatro, son las nueve. And remember that I said to you that if it's the morning, it would be de la mañana, like a.m. So son las nueve de la mañana, it's 9 in the morning. Son las 5 de la tarde, like we say buenas tardes, it's p.m. afternoon. And then if I said son las 8 de la noche, I'm saying at night or PM night, so de la noche. So make sure you have those in your notes for when you're doing your practice. And then there was one other one that we went over. If we want to say the minutes, we said that we're going to add E and say the minutes. So we would say son las 4:05 or son las 5:10 or son las 6:20. And then we also went over talking about cuarto. So instead of, usually we don't say son las 11:15, 15, we say son las 11:15 in Spanish. Both are actually correct, but this is used a lot more, and I want you to know it. So to say cuarto, and then y media is going to be how we say 30. We don't usually say son las 9:30, although some people do. We say son las 9:30. So what I want to do today is we're going to take a look at this clock. And if you have the ability to draw a clock or just take notes with me, that would be helpful. I just want to review a little bit. So usually when we think about the clock, we're going to think about this as being E. So we're saying and. So we would say something like son las 9:05, right? So we would say it's 9:05. So we're going to start with son las 9 for all of these. And then we would say y10 for 10 after. So son las 9:10. Y cuarto for quarter after. Y 20. Think of the vein in your eye. So spell that right, vein, 20. And then we would say y 25 for 25 after. And then remember for 30, we're going to say y media and 30. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. This is where in Spanish, typically what we do is we're going to do subtraction now after, and we didn't get to go over this in class the other day. After about 30 or 35, we usually go to the next hour. So if we were talking about 9:35, for example, we want to go to the next hour, which would be 10. So we would say son las 10. So it's not 10 yet, but it is 25 minutes to 10. So we're going to say son las 10 menos. And how many minutes are left until 10 o'clock if it's 9:35? That's going to be menos 25. So 25. So 25. So that's how we're going to write it. So let's just look at some other examples. So if it were 9:35, we would say son las 10 menos. So we're saying 10 minus 25, literally. And it's kind of, a lot of students don't like this, but this is just how we do it in Spanish. So we would say menos 25. So let's just make sure you know that you can label this. And then if it's, say that it was 9:40, like this one, then it would be menos what? Menos 20. because we're saying minus 20. So it's basically 20 minutes to 10. So son las 9 or son las 10. So for that one, we would say son las 10. This is for 9:40 menos 20. So it's 10 minus 25. And then this one's going to be menos cuarto, minus a quarter. So even though we're over here, it was y cuarto, now it's menos cuarto. So that would be the equivalent of 9:45. So we would say son las 10 menos cuarto. And then what do you guys think we're going to do for 10 minutes too? So for that one, it would be son las 10 menos 10, because it's 10 minus 10 minutes. And then we just have one more here, and that would be if it were 9:55. So now it's going to be what? Son las 10 menos 5, because it's 5 minutes to 10. So we got to think of this side of the clock, past 6 as menos. Those are where we're going to start our subtracting. And then on the from 12 to 6, so if you had like y dos, y tres, y cuatro, if it were 4 after y seis, but we're going to add for that. But then we're going to always start to subtract after, it's usually after 35, I would say. So you could say son las 9:31, so 31, y 32, y 33, y 34. But then usually starting around 35, we're going to start with that menos 25, menos 26. It's not incorrect, though. You could say, someone would understand you if you said son las 9:35. It's 9 and 36. It's just a little bit more correct to start with the subtracting. So what I'm going to ask you to do now is go to Blackboard, and I'm going to assign you some numbers. So I'm going to, basically this is the discussion board, but you're just going to do one example, one group of times. So Nicolas, you're going to get estudiante uno. So I just want you to write the times for estudiante uno. Zachary, so you have 10:01, 1 o'clock, and 11:20. Zachary, you're going to do estudiante dos. So if you could do those 3 times, just right in the discussion board. Haley, I'm going to give you estudiante tres. So you're going to do 4:30, 6:15, and 1:16. Chance, I'm going to give you estudiante cuatro. Morgan, you're going to be estudiante cinco. And Aaron, you are going to be estudiante 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then Alia, if I do see you in class, then you can also do estudiante 6. Even if somebody else did it, it's okay. And I think I got everybody who is a regular attendee of class. And if I missed anybody, then you can just do the same. You could do another number that somebody else was assigned. So as promised, I'm going to go into the verbo ir today, to go. That's how we say to go. So that's the infinitive. Remember, this is an irregular verb, irregular. So so far we've seen ser, which was irregular, yo soy, tú eres. We can't just take off the ending and add a very specific o, as, a, amos, ais, an, like we do with ar, o, es, e, hemos, eis, en for er, or o, es, e, hemos, is, en for ir. We don't have that set pattern of endings. It's not regular, it's irregular, just like ser. And tener was another irregular that we did. It's yo tengo, I have, tú tienes, you have, ella tiene, she has, nosotros tenemos, we have, vosotros tenéis, and ellos tienen. So that's an irregular one too, but this one is pretty irregular. So we can't just take off the IR and add the IR endings like we do normally. So let's just go through the presentation, and we'll do a little practice here. And you're going to be doing this in MindTap. Ir is to go in Espanol, but we want to conjugate that verb. We want to break it down into I go, you go, he goes, we go. So when do you use ser? And if you could take some notes along the way, just so you know the meanings here. Ir means to go, and it's used to talk about where someone is going. So here's our conjugations. So make sure you make your little 6-pack in your notes. Yo voy, I go. Tú, vas, you go. Remember, I go, I am going, or I do go. We have to have those three translations because if I say yo voy al banco, it could mean that I go to the bank or I am going to the bank like right now, or I do go to the bank. Voy al banco todos los días. I do go to the bank every day. Tú vas, you go or you are going or you do go. Usted or él or ella va, he or she goes or is going to the bank. Nosotros vamos, we go or we are going to the bank. Al banco, perdón, I keep saying the bank, but it's just we go, not to the bank. And it could be, we could say al banco at the end. Vosotros vais, y'all go or y'all do go or y'all are going. And then ustedes van. So ellos or ellas, they, or ustedes is the you all, or you guys if you're not from Spain. Van, y'all go or you all are going wherever you're going. So make sure you have those conjugations in your notes because you will need them for MindTap. And then, so ir is always followed. Usually it's followed by the word a because you're usually going to somewhere. So you would say, for example, voy a mi casa. I'm going to my house, or voy al banco. So, but when a comes with el, so when you're saying voy a el banco, you're saying I'm going to the el banco, that a plus el come together to become al because you can't have a plus el separately. So, for example, you would say, yo voy al baño, to the bathroom. A plus al becomes al. So, ejemplos. So, if you could, we're going to do a little practice here. We have nosotros, and we want to fill in the nosotros form to go to the cafeteria. We want to say that Jorge is going or goes to the gym. We want to say, yo no blank a la oficina. I don't go to the office. We want to say ustedes, you guys go to the sala de español, the Spanish classroom or class. And then tú, you want to say you go al auditorio, to the auditorium. So if you, so for número uno, what would we have for número uno? That's going to be vamos. Nosotros vamos a la cafetería. And what would that mean in English? There's actually three meanings to that. We go to the cafeteria, we are going to the cafeteria, or we do go to the cafeteria. Número dos, Jorge. So remember, Jorge is like él or he. It's a guy, one guy, so it would be va, he goes. So what is the translation to English for that? So it could be Jorge goes to the bank, Jorge does go, or perdón, al gimnasio, to the gym. Jorge is going to the gym, or he does go to the gym. Yo no, for tres. That one should have been voy. So, voy a la oficina. In English, what are the three meanings of that one? So you should have, I do not go to the office, I am not going to the office, or I do not go to the office. Ustedes. That one should have been van. Ustedes van a la sala de español. In English, that would be y'all or you guys are going to Spanish class, you go to Spanish class, or you do go to Spanish class, or are going. And then the last one should be tú. And sorry, I gave you the answer too early. It should have been vas. So we're saying that you go to the auditorium, you are going to the auditorium, or you do go to the auditorium. So, and that's actually, it's a pretty basic little construction in Spanish. So I'm going to have you practice in MindTap because there are some activities you're going to do. And I know that you have a lot of other little things for me today. So I'm just going to end this meeting with that and just say, review what we've been doing. Make sure that all your assignments are in this for this week. And nos vemos el martes en clase on Tuesday. Muchas gracias, estudiantes. Adiós.